Rebecca, well, all children act out, and even occasionally they have odd or alarming behavior. A lot of parents simply dismiss this behavior as being a normal phase of growing up. However, childhood mental health disorders are more commonly occurring than one might think. And we're welcoming back licensed social worker and president of Daniel Memorial, Jim Clark, to help shed light on the difference between a phase and a true behavior problem. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you again for having me.
Oh, well, so I think this is something I know a lot of parents are probably turning the TV up right now because this is something that I hear constantly. In fact, I had a conversation yesterday with somebody who said, oh, it's probably just a phase that my kid is going through. So big question, how do you tell the difference?
Well, children do go through phases, and actually at about the age of 2 in particular, they start to exert their independence a little bit more. You'll hear the word no a lot because they're repeating what the parents had said. So there is phases that children go to, and everybody knows what the adolescent phase is and what that's like, or that's often written about and talked about. So children do go through phases, but one of the issues that often happen is parents sometimes want to ignore that, or they want to ignore behavior that has been persistent. They may feel, for whatever reason, everybody wants to have a great and perfect child. When behavior patterns start to create problems at home and at school or within other social situations, then that's what parents really kind of need to look at. Is this something that's persisting that I'm creating with my interaction with my child, or perhaps a pediatrician or a mental health professional might be able to be of help?
And so, yeah, that was my next question. So what action do you take? Do you try to go it alone? Do you bring in the professionals right away?
No, I think everybody should try to go alone at first to see what's going on. In particular, one of the things that we have to know is that children are getting something from their misbehavior. There's a reward. Even though we think that yelling at them or scolding them is they won't want to have, they may be seeking attention. And so that's something that we need to be aware of. So look at what kind of things may be reinforcing that behavior. How are you reacting? Ignoring behavior can be beneficial, but at the same time it needs to be noted. I say that by sometimes parents that would just ignore him. Well, you may need to identify the fact that you are screaming right now, I'm not going to pay attention to you, and we'll talk about that later. So you're planting the seed and you're noting the behavior with the person. You do the same thing with a teen. A teen might say skulling around the house because they can't go out on the weekend. And after a period of time, you might note the behavior. I can see you seem to be pouting. Right now is not the time for us to have a conversation because we'll both get angry. But at our family meeting or 2 hours later or whatever designated time the adult makes, we'll sit down and have that conversation. So then you're identifying the behavior to the person and also trying to tell them what would be better for them to do.
Communication, right?
Communication is key.
We are running out of time, but very quickly, I know that you guys want to talk just very briefly about 2 big events that you have coming up for Daniel.
Yes. On the 29th of August, be aware that downtown will be closed for part of the day because we'll have about 750 bikes. There's a rock and ride, and we'll be at Mavericks, and we've got a couple of great co-sponsors, Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Enterprise Integration, and your station, of course, which is one of our media sponsors, so we really do appreciate that. And Blackjack and the Stacks, and that's in October, so be looking forward to that, October the 24th.
I am. Casey Black and I are emceeing that. I'm ready to go. All right. Great. Thank you so much, Jim, for coming in again. We greatly appreciate it, and I know parents will take that advice to heart. Absolutely. All right, if you'd like more information on this topic or other related family issues, go to news4jax.com, click on the Seen It on 4 tab, and look under Weekend Headlines.